Okay, what's going on, everybody? Some of you may know me from TSN 1200 in Ottawa. I produce Sens games, Red Blacks games. Season opener actually last night, big win 23-19. Although I didn't appreciate Mother Nature making me stay at work another hour or so, cutting into my beauty sleep. Not kind of you. But hey, the Jays didn't play, so that was a bonus, especially after Wednesday, the way things ended in Milwaukee. Oh, it's been a tough season, and I mean, really, the past couple seasons, it's just been kicking the nuts, kicking the nuts, kicking the nuts, and just for good measure, another kick in the nuts. Here we go. We sit 33-35. They had multiple chances to get back to 500, and they should have gotten it done on Wednesday. They were up 1-0. I mean, another good outing from a starter, Chris Bassett. I mean, yeah, it was a little hairy at times, much like it was for Yusei Kikuchi on Tuesday, but he battled, he clutched up when he had to, and he left with a lead, a 1-0 lead. Obviously, you would like more than that, but this offense is tough, and you look around baseball, hitting is tough. I know we like to focus and laser our attention on the Jays, but hey, look around, right? There's a lot of bad teams in baseball, which I'm going to get into a little bit, why I'm not giving up yet, as frustrating as it's been. But John Schneider, come on. Your pitching staff has been clutching up. You're going to put a game that should be yours in the hands of Alejandro Kirk, and I mean, it's just ridiculous. And here, let me clarify, okay? Zach Pop comes in the 6th inning, gets 2 outs, comes side, and you're thinking, all right, here we go. All of a sudden, 10 outs to a series win in Milwaukee and get back to that 500 mark, 2 games out of a wild card, feeling okay about things. But then he walks a guy, and all of a sudden it's runners on the corners, and guy on first steals. Okay, you think Alejandro Kirk, not exactly a rocket arm behind there. I think you kind of just take your medicine. Didn't look like they were going to have him. He had a good jump. Sorry, I don't know the guy's name. I forget. But they put the throw through play on where IKF comes up and ideally the ball is right on his chest and he can feed it back to Alejandro Kirk, get the guy home, and you're out of the inning. But the thing is, Kirk, right, bounces it as he does so often. IKF, can't fault him there, doesn't handle it. Run comes across to score, and the floodgates open from there. Next thing you know, another runner scores on a hit. It's 2-1, and then 13 pitches. That's too much for Zach Pop. He's gassed. So John Schneider brings in trusty Tim Meza, even though he's been hot garbage this year and hadn't pitched in a week or whatever it was. And then he lets another 3 runs to score, allows another 3 runs to score, so it's 5-1. I mean, it's bad enough that you don't trust your pitchers to get it out and get themselves out of danger. You have to put on some dumb throw-through play like we're in friggin' Little League. But hey, so, okay, John Schneider, that's your decision. So it's 5-1, and even still, your offense rallies a little bit in the 9th, gets it, right? It's 5-3 and no outs, runners. It's looking pretty good. Vladdy's poised to pinch hit, but, Springer, just a hole in that lineup. Yeah, sure. I mean, congrats, George. You can still play a good right field. I mean, is that enough for a 5-year, 100-year deal? Did we sign this guy to play a pretty good right field? No. We signed him so he can hit 30 bombs and drive in 100 and be that guy who goes deep in Game 7 of the World Series like he did against the Dodgers, right? But banging the trash cans, no one's banging trash cans anymore, George. No, there's not a trash bag. There's not a trash can to be banged in sight. And even if they did, it would just be a shot in the dark because I don't think the Jays are cheaters. And hey, at this point, does that mean they're not trying? Because it doesn't really feel like they're trying. Are you trying, Ross Atkins? Because what did you do this offseason aside from IKF, which, I mean, hey, is pretty good. Pretty good. Sorry, I'm just getting off on a tangent here. My purpose of this whole video and to do these going forward is to maybe play a little bit of armchair manager. And really, I mean, this is kind of therapeutic for myself. I don't really get on air all that often as it stands right now. I think I whet the appetite yesterday when Kenny Wallace talking about my job at TSN 1200. You can find it on Apple Podcasts. The Drive, Hour 1. Early on, Kenny Walls asked me about the Jays, how I'm still feeling about them. He was creeping my Twitter feed, and hey, I was a little bit positive. I mean, they've been playing a little bit better, and I think more so just looking at the standings. I mean, let's look at the standings right now. All right, the Jays, 33 and 35. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Okay, but here's the thing: they're only 3.5 back of a wild card. You have the Rangers starting to play a little bit better, 33 and 35 as well. They've won their last 2. So that's a little concerning. But yeah, then you have the Tigers at 33 and 35. The Red Sox at 35 and 34, who you'll see a couple times here as the Jays have the Guardians for 3 at home, and then the Red Sox for 3 at home, and then they go out and they play those 2 teams on the road again. So you're going to have a chance to take care of business against the Sox on your own. And do I think the Jays are a better team than the Twins? No, I don't. Do I think they're a better team than the Royals as it is right now? No, I don't. But hey, I mean, the thing about this team, right? It's this pitching staff. I mean, like, come on. Like, yes, the Guardians are 43 and 23, so that doesn't look all that good. But I mean, come on. Tonight, the Jays are favored. I mean, they're favored to win this game. Why? Because you have Kevin Gausman on the mound. This guy is an ace. This team has multiple aces. You talk about Gausman. You talk about Jose Barrios. I mean, this guy's been money. Yusei Kikuchi has been money. A little bit of a lull. Chris Bassett got off to a bit of a slow start, but he is money. Okay? He's money. All right? And, like, I don't feel terrible about a bad Ref Francis and a Yariel Rodriguez is maybe coming around the pipe soon, right? Maybe gets healthy, and like this team, if they can stay in the hunt until July 31st, and I mean, make Ross Atkins add a pitcher and not sell this thing off, because that is my ultimate fear. Do I think Vladdy's going to live up to who we thought he could be? No. Do I think Bo is even a good shortstop? I mean, no. I think maybe that's the move. Maybe you trade Bo and IKF can be your everyday shortstop, right? Maybe Ernie Clement gets some more time. David Schneider plays a little bit more infield. Obviously, you're like what you're seeing from Spencer Horwitz. If he can handle second base, that's beautiful for you. So maybe David Schneider goes to third if he can handle that. A little bit of Ernie Clement in there, and oh my goodness, you're telling me you can't find an outfielder if this team is like not in the mix? I mean, let's look here. Let's look at the friggin' Diamondbacks. They're 33 and 36. They've fallen out of it a little bit. All right. But what if like a little renaissance for Lourdes Gurriel or something like that? Like, you're telling me that is completely off the table? I mean, this guy's OPS is under 700, but that, in my opinion, the type of contact hitter, a guy who's known to be clutch, or 41 RBIs this year in 61 games. I'm just saying, you're telling me you can't make something like that work and just be desperate. Like, just do what you got to do to get it done, Ross. Like, it's your job. I think it should be your job on the line. And you talk about job was on the line. Let's look at John Schneider. Can we look at John Schneider, please? Okay? I mean, I was done with this guy last year when I saw firsthand against the Orioles. Early, I think it was like May 20, May 2-4 weekend. I went down to see a couple games, and this guy forced himself into taking Manoah out in the midst of probably his best outing of the year, because he forgot that he had already used up his mound visit earlier that inning. I mean, that's just the type of stuff that he does where you wonder if this guy has anything up there. And he just doesn't have his finger on the pulse enough. I mean, I already reprimanded him for the decision to throw through earlier and taking Pop out to bring in Meza. He is just like, everything this guy touches turns to crap, it seems. I'm sure he's a decent enough guy, and I'm sure he's a decent enough baseball mind. But is he deserved to manage this ball club? No, he's not. He's just not. Okay, like give me Charlie Montoyo back. Honestly, I Donnie Baseball maybe has to go too, but like you look at what the friggin' Cubs did last year with David Ross, and like I think this team needs a little injection there. Like friggin' make Jose Bautista your manager, make Edwin Encarnacion your manager, something to get the swagger back in this team because there's none of it. I mean, Vladdy. I mean, this guy has no confidence. This guy, look at that guy's ass. Okay, this guy is more powerful than something that's extremely powerful, whatever that might be. I don't have that. I'm not witty enough as it is right now. But I mean, 7 home runs on the year in 68 games. This guy's not even on pace to hit 20 home runs in a season, and even still, his OPS is 778. Like this guy is a beauty. Okay, like if you get Edwin Encarnacion or something like that to skip this team and make going to the ballpark every day for more fun, just get a little mojo back for this team. There's no reason his OPS can't be back over 1 sooner, like in the 900s at least, just be an absolute stud. Okay, so yeah, you trade Bo Bichette. I mean, you just get rid of him. I mean, I think it is what it is. You look back at his career, a lot of his big moments anyway, where pitches middle, and he just doesn't play a very good shortstop. He's not very quick. I'm sure, I'm sure he's a good enough guy. Maybe I don't know, is he? But I think it's time to get rid of him. I mean, you have a lot of good ball players. Like that's the thing. You have some good ball players, and like you still have friggin' guys down in the minors that are doing pretty good. Like let's take a look at the friggin' Bisons. Okay, they're 34-32 on the year. By the way, I wouldn't give up on Aaron Sanchez yet. Okay, I know he gave up 7 earned over 3 yesterday, but that's coming off 1 run over 6. I just think like pitching wise, this team has a cooking. Okay, they really, really do. They really do. And offensively, they have enough guys up the middle to like potentially, get by, even if they don't add another infielder with Ernie Clement, like David Schneider, IKF, these guys, right? I mean, like Aurelvis Martinez. Let's take a look at what Aurelvis Martinez is doing these days, maybe. All right. 842 OPS. Okay, he's got an 842 OPS this season. And game logs. Let's take a look at some game logs, right? Okay, bear with me. He struck out twice yesterday as he took an 0 for 3. But, I mean, aside from that, I mean, he's picking up 1 hit, 2 hits a night. I mean, he's just as consistent as it seems here. Like doubles power. I mean, we're feeling good about it. 15 home runs here and 222 at bats. Like we're feeling really good about that. I mean, a guy that's only 22 years old. So, I mean, Joey Votto potentially, right? There's some encouraging signs about that. I mean, even like a guy like Luis Dos Santos, right? He's 26, but a guy where like you feel like he can maybe come up and probably not hit a lick, but at least play a good infield. This team really values defense. What I'm saying is like it's not dire straits. I honestly I think Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro, they have the ability to be good baseball minds. I mean, they are good baseball minds. Sorry, but they have the ability to maybe right the ship here. I do think they have the right players for the most part. It's just I think it really does come down to coaching. I think that's just my opinion. I think that's kind of like I've kind of circled around it here. I apologize, it's been a little scrambly, but I think that's where I've kind of landed on is that I think it's more so coaching than the players. I think you look at the camaraderie, the guys like each other. I think they still like coming to the ballpark, even as frustrating as it's been. I just think that they need a new look there, right? I'm not even just talking John Schneider, and I hate to call for people's jobs, but I just think Don Mattingly, it didn't work out in Miami. It's just that it hasn't worked out. It didn't work out in Los Angeles after a while. I just think that maybe it's time to move on for him. It's been a great life in baseball, and I'm sure he'll stay in baseball, but I don't think this is panning out for him. And yeah, I'm sorry, John Schneider, but it's just it's not a good look. I think this team needs a change of pace. and I think that could maybe kickstart them because you look you look around. I already talked about the standings. Like there's some good teams, but once you get past the Orioles, right? You talk the Yankees, Orioles. There's no other great teams as of right now in the American League. The Rangers can maybe get it cooking a little bit, but I just don't think that their pitching is going to be where it's at with Jacob DeGrom out for the entire year. I don't think that they can sustain that. So I think it's there for the Jays. Like I'm talking 88 wins, 86 wins. It's just still doable. And like I know the schedule right now is tough. They still have another 14 games against teams above 500, but it does lighten up a bit. All right, like let's just go down the line here a little bit. Once they get past this, yeah, Guardians, Red Sox, and then you're at home against the Yankees. You're at home against the Stros. You're on the road against the Mariners. It's always tough. You're on the road against the Giants, that'll be interesting. On the road against the Diamondbacks, that'll be interesting. And then you gotta take care of business against the Tigers, right? That's another team those are your peers right now, and you're a better team than the Tigers. I know they like beat you 2-3 or whatever it was earlier, but you're a better team than them right now. You just are. You have better pitching, and you have more stars that have been doing it for longer on offense. They just need to wake up. Just wake up. And the Rays, I think that's another peer team that you got to take care of. It's always I'm not saying it's not going to be tough. Like the Rangers, peers, like it's time. Like there's the ability to take care of business there. All right, and then by then it's like you're on the road against the Orioles. But then it's like okay, you're gonna know. Are we gonna buy them? Are we gonna really make a run to get a second or third wild card? Because if this team can get in, it was the same thing I was talking about on TSN 1200 last year. And JR looked at me like I had two heads, but I truly believed it. I said, if this team can get in, they have a chance. I mean, you're telling me Gosman, Barrios, Bassett, that's legitimate. And it proved to be legitimate. Gosman was good, and Barrios was dealing in game two. And John Schneider took him out, put in Yusei Kikuchi, who hadn't relieved all season. And yeah, so you see what I mean? I mean, just please, Ross, just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Like you need to move on from John Schneider. You've given him enough rope. You gave him as much rope as Charlie Montoyo did, and Charlie Montoyo was above 500. He was 46 and 42 or whatever it was when you fired him. John Schneider's team has been below 500 all season long, man. It's time to move on. It's not too late. We can still save the season. The boys can. Like I'm talking, once you get past the Orioles in August, all right, August 9th, you got the Athletics who will be atrocious by then. The Angels who will be atrocious by then. Then you're at Wrigley. The Cubs are having a tough year. The Reds, they're getting it going, but they're not that good. And then you got 4 against the Angels. And then you got the Red Sox, who should suck by then. And then you can take care of business against the Twins. And it gets tough for a little bit against the Phillies and Braves, and then you got the Mets and Cardinals, and then you finish off with the Marlins this season. Like it does lighten up a bit, and this is a good ball club. They have the ability to be good. I just think they have to move on from John Schneider. I mean, what are we expecting from this lineup tonight against the Cleveland Guardians and featuring the one and only Logan Allen? All right. We all know this guy, but he's having a tough year. 5.57 ERA, 1.52 whip. Okay? He's 25 years old, all right? This guy. Let's take a look at his stats against the Jays. I mean, this is a pitcher on paper, in my opinion, that like this team should be able to handle. Like there's a lefty. I know they haven't hit lefties, but like come on, they got a righty heavy lineup. Like, let's go, boys. Come on. Like, so Logan Allen versus Blue Jays, all right? Bo Bichette is 1 for 2, all right? He's 1 for 2. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he's 1 for 5. Danny Jansen, he's 1 for 4. Kirk 0 for 1. Davis Schneider is 1 for 2, and he's hit a 2-run bomb against Logan Allen. George Springer is good old 2 for 5 with a solo shot. I'm sure it was a leadoff homer. Those days are gone. Those days are long gone. Justin Turner 0 for 3. Maybe you sit Justin Turner. maybe you just get him off his feet. And but hey, actually no, because Vogelback is a lefty, so you're not gonna start him. But maybe what you do is, I do think, although Kirk made that horrible play on defense, I think maybe you DH Kirk today because he's starting to swing the bat a little bit. Maybe you try to get his bat going. So that's what I would do. So I would DH Kirk today. So I would have Jansen catching. Varshow's 0 for 4, but you're going to put him in center. So then you have David Schneider in left. Yeah, George Springer is going to play right. Should he? No. He shouldn't. But he's going to play right. That's what's going to happen. And then you're going to put IKF at third, right? And you're going to put Bo at short. You can put Horwitz at second. Vladdy at first. Vladdy 2 days off, so he should be well rested. And let's get it cooking, Vladdy. You almost went ninth. You almost went deep in the ninth against the Brewers pinch hitting there. I think it's time to get it cooking. So here's my line. Here's my lineup. I think you stick with Horwitz in the leadoff spot, even though he's a lefty. I think you just trust this guy, right? He's not a blue chip prospect. He's old enough where it's like, what are you really guarding him against? Like, let's see if he can really just get it cooking here in the leadoff spot. And I would probably do like, you're gonna do Varsho left, so you're not gonna do left. So like that's gonna be interesting. Like I would probably just go ahead and just do like Vladdy 2 and Bo 3. Like I would probably just go ahead and do that. And then I would probably put like David Schneider 4. I think I would do something like that. And then you go Jano 5. And then, maybe you go Kirk 6 even. And then you go IKF's maybe you go Varsho 7 to split up the lefties a little bit. Right, so who am I missing here? Who am I missing? Yeah, George is going to hit 8th. So they'll probably put, so Jansen 5, and then put Springer 6th, I guess. Put Springer 6th. Oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, do it. You see what I mean though? And then I think you put Varsho 7 and IKF 8. Oh, sorry. I think it's just I think that is like a lineup. It's as good as it's gonna get right now. Like I think if you Gosman coming off a complete game shutty, Logan Allen, there's enough guys that have done enough damage against Logan Allen where you should be able to get 3 runs off this guy over 5 innings or whatever it is. I'll take that. I allow Gosman to go. Hopefully he goes like 6 or 7 innings, 1 to 2 runs. And let's see what this bullpen can do. Let's see if we can get 6 outs or so and get it to Jimmy. That's what it's gonna come down to. Like you just gotta act desperate right now. Each game is huge. That's what you've done to yourselves. But I'm not giving up on this team. I just hope that this video here can maybe start to gain some steam, as I will hopefully do them going forward. It's therapeutic for myself. And I want to really connect with the fan base because I love the Jays. It's been tough. It's been so tough. But it's all we got to hang on to in terms of baseball, us baseball lovers. And this team, they can't go out like this, can they? There needs to be a turning of the tide here. It's been too bad for too long. Everything we've been promised, this team has no reason to not be right up there with the Yankees and Dodgers of the world, okay? People love their Bluebirds. Treat us with respect. All right, give us a manager that's going to put the team in the best position to win. All right, and take pitchers out when they should be taken out, and then replaces them with the right pitcher, and make the right game type manage type of decisions, right? They know it's right to do it's right to throw through here. It's right to not roll the dice in this situation because like our pitching is doing well and like we can live with them getting a hit off a pitcher that we have faith in, but we can't live with throwing the ball around. We just can't. Um, so that's where my head's at with this team. Don't give up on them. I'm not yet, but the time could come where we have to. But until then, we got a big series against the Guardians this weekend. Let's lock in.